Okay, let's check out the last minute first. So KCP gets a fast break dunk, Wizards are up 8. But then off screen, Montrezl Harrell decides to foul out of nowhere. You look at the situation in the game, 8 points, 35 seconds. There was no reason to foul, but he did for some reason. So then Terrence Mann gets those 2 points back. The Clippers then foul. Montrez misses one of his free throws. We've got a transition opportunity for Amir Coffey because the Wizards, well, they just didn't get back in transition. Even so, 5 points, 19 seconds. The Clippers foul again. Similar to Montrez, Kuzma makes one of his 2 free throws. And then it seems like the game is pretty much over until Luke Kennard just goes God mode. And so now the Wizards need to inbound the ball. No timeouts left. Corey Kispert runs around one screen, KCP another. They wanted to get it to Dinwiddie in the post. That's a 5-second violation. Now it's getting a little scary. Justice Winslow brings it up. That's to Kennard. Kind of a screen, I guess. Please don't foul him. Oh no, Bradley Beal fouled him. Luke Kennard then makes the free throw. And the only proper way for this to end for the Wizards is that it's a turnover. In the second half, the Clippers outscored the Wizards 80-49. Amir Coffey had a game, and he has had some big scoring games recently. Most of his work comes from 3, even if that wasn't the case in this game. Most of his stuff in this one was actually in transition. The Wizards had 12 turnovers in the second half. Luke Kennard killed him as well. It wasn't just in the last 11 seconds or whatever. Dinwiddie just wasn't on him enough after that pass from Bledsoe. Kennard has been one of the more, I don't want to say frustrating players, but confusing players for me in the league because he has these moments where I feel like he can be a 20-point scorer. He's been really efficient throughout his career. And then other times he just kind of scores 7 points a game for like 9 games in a row. And I'm like, well, okay, I don't know. Anyway, do you want to look at this shot again, Wizards fans? Speaking of confusing, Spencer Dinwiddie this season, I don't know, dude. The one thing I noticed is that he's shooting by far the least amount of shots at the rim he's ever taken. I mean, almost half of his attempts have been from 3. There's way more floaters, and it's just not going in. He's had his moments, sure, but this has been one of the most disappointing pickups of the offseason. Dinwiddie had 3 turnovers in the second half. Even with Dinwiddie's struggles, I could still see him doing well on a different team. Bradley Beal's scoring was there in the second half, although he also committed a fair amount of turnovers himself, and he had that bad foul late. Is Bradley Beal going to want to keep doing this? I mean, if he does, then good for him. But, I mean, he's got a player option that he's most likely going to decline because then he could just get the most money possible. He had that quote that was like almost 2 months ago now saying at some point you have to be selfish. Does that mean anything? We'll see. Anthony Davis's personal defensive rating in his return was 96. Which, if you did that for a whole season, you'd be by far the best defensive team in the league. He had 4 block shots. Between AD being back and them now giving Stanley Johnson a real contract, could this be a turning point for the Lakers' defense? If they're going to win, I think it has to be on defense, because I don't think their offense is ever going to be that fluid. I feel like AD looked a little more slim in this game, which I think we've all come to agree on that that's the best version of him. Anthony Edwards is insanely good for his second season. Yeah, is his shot selection sometimes a little rough? Sure, but man, they've been going in lately. I feel like there's been a bit of a convo on, is Anthony Edwards actually the T-Wolves' best player? To me, the conversation really is that Towns still doesn't get enough shot attempts, but they certainly do lean on Edwards at times. And it does feel like sometimes this team is taking on Edwards' personality, and that's great. My favorite Edwards stuff is still when he's just a freight train going to the rim. I really feel like he has the potential to be one of the best inside scorers in the league. When the T-Wolves come up, you know I have to mention Jared Vanderbilt. 6 offensive rebounds, and 13 rebounds overall in this game against the Blazers. I'm going to show you one of those rebounds again, because it leads to one of his 6 assists this night as well. I love Jared Vanderbilt. The Celtics beat the Kings by 100, so that was nice. Look at this burst in the in-and-out dribble that Tatum has. Tatum has been nuts the last couple games. He had the 50-something against the Wizards, 30-something against the Kings. And I don't think it's too complex. He's making the shots that he was previously missing. I don't think his shot selection drastically changed. And as I said when I was talking about his struggles, I think his shot selection has been pretty much fine this year. That said, having him set screens or set something resembling a screen like on this play could be something you explore more of. His assists have also been creeping up recently. Here he handles the double team well as Grant Williams relocates from the corner. And this skip pass to Richardson is pretty nutty. Tatum's decision making is not perfect, but I do think he's making progress. Bob Cove has drawn interest from several teams, Wolves, Cavs, and more. Mark Stein first reported the Jazz. Yeah, make sure you mention that Mark Stein reported them or else you're going to get a tweet about it. With Covington, I mean, if you're hoping that he's going to be your lockdown on-ball defender, then I think you're going to be disappointed, but close out to shooters, rotate to the basket. I mean, I don't know if he's at his best at this point in his career, but he can certainly still fit in. As far as his offense is concerned, I mean, there's times where if he's not making his three, it's like, does this guy do anything on offense? So I don't know if it's a slam dunk, acquire this guy and let's go, but yeah, it could be a solid pickup. 3 threes in a row for Clay. I remember one of them was off of a really good Bielitsa pass. I think this is it. Yeah, the Warriors swing offense is so fun. What I want to appreciate real quick is the Rajon Rondo-esque pass from Steph Curry, where it's straight up just turn around in midair and throw it back out to the perimeter. I saw that a lot when Rondo was on his assist streak of a million years ago. Executives expect either Dorian Finney-Smith or Jalen Brunson to be on the move. It'll be tough for them to keep both. I could see Finney-Smith getting a contract that is, I don't know, 11, 12 million a year. Although Brunson's contract is weird because of this. The most Dallas can offer Brunson in an extension is $55 million over 4 years. He'll be able to make more money as an unrestricted free agent. It's an awkward situation.